Well, the first shipment of liquefied natural gas from the United States has now arrived in Germany. The vessel, called the USA LNG, is loaded with around 170,000 cubic metres of LNG, and that's enough to power around 50,000 German homes for a year. Before the war in Ukraine, Russia supplied more than half of Germany's natural gas demand. Let's explore this further. We can speak to Thomas O'Donnell, who's an energy analyst and lecturer at the Hungary School of Governance and joins us on Skype from Berlin. Thomas, so the US living up to its promise to supply LNG, how crucial is this supply?
Well, thanks for having me today. It's absolutely crucial to Europe. We're in the midst of, this is another front of the war that everybody knows about, the hot war in Ukraine. Putin's not doing very well there, his military, so he's counting on the energy war with Europe, especially by cutting off and restricting the natural gas to Europe to cause economic difficulties, and it is causing economic difficulties, to cause the alliance in support of Ukraine to split. And so far, they've stayed strong, and they're doing quite well. The United States, as you mentioned, Biden promised last year to send an extra to send a lot of extra LNG last year, and he did the same thing this year. Some people sort of made fun of it. Where's he going to find it? But in both cases, it came from the United States quicker and sooner than anybody expected. So a lot of the Russian gas has been made up for by LNG from the United States.
How much does this reduce Europe's and Germany's reliance on gas from Russia?
Well, in the short term, it doesn't. Like the terminal that's opened, it opened actually a week or two ago, but that's receiving the LNG from the United States today, from the Kalescu Pass on the Texas border. That one, when it's at full tilt, should provide about 10 billion cubic meters a day. There's other plants that are coming online soon that'll provide 5 to 7 billion cubic meters a day over the next 2 to 3 years. Now, each one of the Nord Stream 1 pipeline, the Nord Stream 1 pipeline was 55 billion cubic meters a day directly from Russia. There was also another pipeline across Poland and Belarus into Germany and Europe, and that one was about 30 billion cubic meters a day, the Europa-Yamal pipeline. And there was about 40 million that were coming before the billion a year that were coming across Ukraine, which is way down to almost nothing. So these terminals by themselves are not going to make it up. It's crucial to Germany to get this, but all the other European countries are also bringing in LNG. They're bringing, pipeline gas more from North Africa. They're working on that from Algeria and other countries and Norway. And It's going to be till 2026 or 2027 till they can completely replace the Russian gas, especially from U.S. and Qatari sources.
Interesting.
Sorry,
you mentioned the surprise with how quick this has happened, because when it was first announced, there was a great deal of doubt about Europe being able to put the necessary infrastructure in place to receive the LNG.
Yes. On the one hand, the Germans have built the first couple stations. It would have normally taken about 4 or 5 years. They did it in about 5 months. So, when the German economy wants to do something, industry, they can get it done. They shouldn't have relied on Russian gas for all these years, but this they got done rather fast. So Germany will build these terminals, I think, rather fast. It's just that the real limit, actually, you're right. At first, there was this limit of taking it in. But as we go on over the next few years, the real limit is there's not enough in the world to bring in, even no matter how much you build here to receive it. The United States and Qatar both are having huge expansions, and they're the main sources that will come in the future. But it'll be 2026, mid-2026 or 2027 before those really get online, and the whole gas market can calm down and hopefully prices get back to normal, and Russia is completely replaced in Europe. So that's going to take a while, but it's going ahead full tilt.
All right, Thomas, we'll leave it there. Thanks very much indeed for your analysis. Thomas O'Donnell speaking to us there from Berlin. Thank you. Still ahead here in Al Jazeera, memorials held in Paris for the Kurdish victims killed in an attack last month, plus